Good afternoon and welcome to the first live show of Crafters TV and something a little bit different this Thursday. Yes, Thursday you heard me shout. So for all of our softer side friends out there, if you're not aware or you know somebody who is a softer side fan, tell them it's today, it's Thursday, it's here, it's live, it's right now at Crafters TV because we have got the first show, which is kind of a mix of softer side of life with a little bit of craft fault thrown in, but all around the sewing deals, the tools that you need, the storage that you need, which sneak preview is a new launch today, and we've got lots lined up for you. In fact, so much so, literally, I've got a ton full under the counter. They're all over. Every 4 shelves were covered up. So this will probably be a little bit fast-paced and furious, but we are going to throw some demos in as well from the very beautiful, and I'm going to throw her straight in right now because she's very croaky, so I'm going to get this bit out of the way for you. The expert that well, there's only one expert when it comes to softer side of life, and that is our gorgeous, beautiful, slightly croaky, but still looking glamorous, may I say, the lovely Becky Sworn. Good afternoon, Becky.
Hello. It's going to take me a little bit of time to find the right
pitch,
so I just have to talk very deep and husky.
Oh, well, do you know what, Becky? Yeah. That might...
Shall I just go for this?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Remind me each time you come to me. Talk low.
Talk
low.
low.
And slow.
Talk low,
yeah,
low.
A bit croaky, but yeah, it's lovely to be back to do a sewing show because it's been a while.
It has been a while, yes, it has. And you've got me today on this side of the building. Well, give a little shake up, I was going to say, shout out to all the fabulous people that are helping us put this show together. We've got Nicola in my ear and Sam, who are looking after things. Jake, who literally just flew in very last minute with the things that I really need, so big shout out to our lovely Jake. And on the socials, because we do have some socials going off, so get your comments in. We've got the lovely Rachel looking after us today, superstar Rachel, and already some hellos coming in for various people, which we'll go to in a minute, because I promise you we've got so much to cover in this show. And also theme, oh, do you know, we'll have to mention it because it is today National Pet Day.
It is.
Did you know?
Yeah, I did know. What pet do you have?
I don't now.
You don't?
I used to have dogs. Well, I had my little doggy was Millie, little King Charles Cavalier, absolutely beautiful,
nice.
Gorgeous little spirit she were. Sadly, I lost her, and it's coming up to her 7th anniversary this April, the 22nd. You never forget dates, do you?
No.
But yes, so I don't have her anymore. But I've got a new fur baby.
Yeah.
In the form of my daughter's. She's a grandbaby, and it's my little Ruru. She's a little whippet, a little miniature whippet.
Oh,
She's
nice.
beautiful. I love her to bits. Do you have a pooch or an
I've
animal?
got a dog. We had 2 cats that have sadly gone, and we have a dog, Charlie, who is the love of my husband's life. I know when I go, he'll be, oh well. But when the dog goes, he'll be devastated. But my son is quite keen on getting ferrets. There's a man that lives down our road, and he has ferrets, and he takes them for a walk in the street. Can you imagine?
You see, people expect that from my part of the woods, in Yorkshire. That's you know. I always remember first job I got in London, he thought we kept ferrets because he thought every Yorkshireman kept ferrets.
Or pigeons.
And pigeons,
yeah.
Exactly. The other two, the other one, but no, not at all. However, get involved in the socials. We may even, if Sam will let me, tell you to send in pictures of your lovely, beautiful pets, because it is National Pet Day today. So send in your photos as usual to the normal address, which is email address studio@crate. Nearly we're in a different place then.
Oh,
studio crafterscompanion.co.uk. Yay, I knew I'd get there in the end. That's because I was talking to someone earlier about something else. So nearly just a slip of the tongue then. So yeah, get your pictures in and share them with you. Get active in those comments, and I'll come to those few hellos in a moment. But we have got a new launch for you right now, and it's all about storage. And it is, now the official title, Becky, are you ready for this one? Is Easy to Organise, Slide, Stash and Store. However, what it basically means is fat quarter storage and ribbon trays.
Excellent.
And I just love, honestly, I love these. And because I'm thinking as a crafter, I could use these, not just you guys on the softer side of life, but absolutely lovely, easy to store, that pulley system that you're getting. And you're getting in total 6. 3 of each, so 3 for your fat quarters, which is perfect for all of your fat quarters. If you've got loads of these, let's just move those in there for you. You can store them with whatever. So you've got this lovely like square kind of storage system. Again, that slide where you can pull them out, they've got little easy, they're easy to put together as well. Our Jake, God love him, literally put those together in a matter of minutes. And you're getting 3 of those, and then your ribbon one. But it doesn't necessarily have to be for ribbon. Of course, it's going to be fabulous for crafting.
Yep.
Zips on a roll, Becky. Still love zips on a roll. And you can fill them up as well with your ribbons, but with your ribbon threads, like your, you know, your, what do they call these again, Becky? That's the official name.
Jelly rolls.
What rolls?
Jelly rolls.
Thank you very much. That roll. But today, this deal, which I think is an amazing deal for your slide, stash, and store system, £17.98 here in the UK or $23, but that's minus your club inspired discount. And the lowest that you're going to go down to is that platinum price. So if you're brand new to Club Inspired today, which is £14.38 or $18.40. And I think you'll agree, part of that easy to store storage system is just absolutely incredible and a really great value for money and a great storage system. Right, on to a bit more serious stuff before we come to, and I will come to the LOs, don't worry, you guys who are sending in the LOs, we will come to those as well. However, we've got a little bit of a situation because we've got the builder block system. Now, the builder block system, Becky, give me your take on why you need this in your life.
It's my favourite thing.
I knew.
I love it. Sorry, deeper voice. It's my favourite thing. It is incredible. So I've got a quilt here which has been made using the builder block. The builder block is a succession of different shapes. So in the original builder block you have squares, half square triangles and quarter square triangles. And they are, excuse the pun, the building blocks of patchwork. There are hundreds and hundreds of different types of things that you can do with squares, half square triangles and quarter square triangles. This one here, all of the designs have been made with squares and half square triangles, quarter square triangles. Now, it is really difficult to cut accurately anything with a rotary cutter. The reality is it takes ages and it's never super accurate, and you want nice accurate points. Now with the builder block system, because you're using the dies that are going to go through your Gemini machine, you're going to get precision cuts every single time. Already taken into account a 1/4 inch seam allowance, but also you'll be able to cut through multiple layers of fabric. So you can cut through 6 to 8 layers of quilting cotton in one go, meaning that if you were going to make a quilt like this, cutting them out, I'd say 2-3 hours cutting out all those different shapes. Cutting them out with the Gemini, you can do it in 10 minutes.
Yeah,
no problem
that's
at
the
all.
difference, isn't it?
And it opens up a whole wealth of opportunities for you. In the build block, this is an example of some of the designs you can make with this one builder block.
Wow.
So it really is a fantastic system. And I love it. It's my favourite thing. I always wax lyrical about it. But you're going to tell me something really sad about it, because not many people are going to get these, are they?
I am, and unfortunately we haven't, and this is why we've brought it. This shouldn't have been coming into the show until a little bit later on, but this is a softer side of life, but more of a cartloady style, brilliant deals, better than and I think Nick told me better than some of the spring deals that we've got on the system in the groups, the way that we've put things together. So this is definitely one to tune in with, and I do mean this. If you've got a friend who is into this side of crafts, then please do them a favour, let them know, because I'm not so sure some of these deals will be hanging around, and this one definitely won't be, because we have less than, we're into single figures, is all I'm going to say. As our Ben would say, it's green on the screen, which means
soon won't be seen.
Exactly, because it's limited quantity. But I'm not surprised, because it's such a fabulous saving. We're saving over 40%. $59.99 or $83.97 is the price without your club membership off. If you take your club membership off and you're a platinum member, you're going down to less than 50. Look at that, less than £50 here in the UK. So it's $47.99, or in the US, $67.18 to grab that brilliant system, to get all of those different variations in the form of your box. I absolutely, and even though I'm not a quilter and I'm not into sewing and things like that, I keep saying I want to get into it, but I think this is such a useful tool for anybody out there that wants to make those quick, easy projects, but get that precision cut every single time in your fabrics, and you know that you can cut multiple layers out. We know the power of the Gemini. So all I'm going to say with this one is we've had to bring it in right now. It wasn't due to appear into the show till at least well into the first half. But unfortunately, we don't have a lot of these left. If this is something you've been sat on the fence with, get off that fence, run into that checkout and go and get this in your basket right now. And please do check out, because until it's been checked out, it isn't yours. So I just want you to make sure and be aware of that, because it is a fantastic system. And you heard it here, our gorgeous Becky. Favourite product. You asked me earlier on in the pre-record, didn't you? What my favourite was. This is Becky's. So definitely, please, don't leave it. Now, I did say I was going to do with a little bit of shout-outs to everybody, because I have seen there's a few comments coming in. Our lovely Lynn Harvey is in the building. She says, Debbie, the amazing CTV team, the wonderful social superstar, and everyone. Hi. I hope you're all well and enjoying your day. Sarah Brown, good day. Didn't say that right. G'day.
G'day.
Is that right? I think that might be. I think that bit. That's my lovely flaming galore. See, I think I got that bit right as well. I think I pronounced that a little bit right. Says, hello to all my crafty friends at CTV. Special hellos and hugs to my friends Debbie and Becky. Lots of waving emojis there. I'm getting excited about my holiday in June. I can, wait, I'm out of Melbourne for the winter for 2 weeks. Sending you all loves from, is it later on in the day in Melbourne, Australia now? Is it the dark?
She's always in bed when we're on there, isn't she?
Yes, so it's further in the future, isn't it? Can't believe you're going on holiday. Tell us where you're going. Bless you. Rachel says hello as well. Carletta Morris, good morning everyone from Arkansas. Do love that one. Polyco, awesome data, all from, I can never say this one. Is it Blountstown or Bluntstown? Blountstown in Florida. Oh, I bet it's beautiful in Florida at the minute. In my head. It's tropical. We'll have to ask us, because some of our crew are going over there, because obviously our Sarah's going to be over there for HSN on Monday, I think it is. Maricel, says, good morning, I'm just waking up, but we'll re-watch and craft along on the weekend. Becky inspires me to pull out my sewing machine.
Oh,
that's lovely.
Nice.
Thank you. That's really lovely. Carol Dunn says, good afternoon, everyone from Cornwall. Christine Mahoney, good morning and afternoon. You both look beautiful. Debbie, neon dreams all the way.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You really are a walking paper pad.
And then you wonder why. And you wonder where we had the. I am a walking paper pad. Exactly what I am. Thank you very much for that, Christine. Who else have we got in? Mistress Deo says, good afternoon, all. Carol G on YouTube. Great. A sewing show with the lovely Becky. And Mistress Dale also says, I was using my builder blocks last weekend, cut over 200 shapes.
Wow.
There you go.
And I bet that took a fraction of the time if you'd had to do it by using a rotary cutter.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now then, Becky,
Yeah.
I believe I'm going to, because I can't, there's one thing you're going to find out. I'll be okay at presenting, but when it comes to the knowledge and the fountain of knowledge that you need with all the fabulous products on today's show, of course, there's only one person and the right expert for this job, which is our lovely Becky.
Oh, she's so nice. In front of the screen. No, not really. She's lovely through and through. I was saying how nice everybody here is. I felt very welcome when I first started. Right, the builder blocks. So on here, you're going to be getting, or in here, squares, half square triangles and quarter square triangles. There is a builder block plus, which I don't think is in stock at the moment, but it works with this. This is the original builder block. It has got the key shapes you will need to create all sorts of different designs. Now, this one looks like the Build Block Plus. It comes in this little handy drawer set, so you can really see exactly what you're going to be getting. When you pull out the individual sections, you will see, you get a little roadmap which shows you all the different sizes, but you also get all of those different shapes. Now, they're copper coloured, which indicates they're multimedia dies. You can use them for paper and card if you want to, but they are deep dies. They're made to cut through multiple layers of fabric. And they're in a nice flocked, it's almost like a jewellery box. A jewellery box for crafters is what you're going to be getting. So each drawer has a different design in them, a different shape. You will also get in here your, cables come loose, excuse me. You'll get your builder block booklet, and in here we've given you step-by-step instructions as to how to put everything together. Now, we start here, we talk about cutting with the grain. Now, if you've never watched me before, I'm going to tell you what the grain is, and you have watched me before, you'll be bored, sorry. Now, the grain line is really important when we cut things, because fabric stretches in different ways. Now I've got a random piece of fabric here, and I'm just going to put it to one side like this, and I'm going to pull it like that. You can see I've got quite a lot of stretch here. And if I pull it this way, I don't have very much stretch at all. If I pull it diagonally, you see I've got loads and loads of stretch. So if you're going to be making a figure-hugging dress, for example, you cut across, which is called the bias. We cut on this line, because it then curves around your curvy body. Now, what we want to do when we're doing patchwork, we want to make sure that the grain line is running upwards. And the way we can tell that is by looking at the fabric and see if it's got a salvage edge, which this one hasn't. So it's a good choice for me to pick up, because you wouldn't know. But by pulling it, I can tell that where the stretch is least is where the grain line runs. So we know that the grain line is running up this way. So it's a really easy way of you working it out. Now, you'll see here, we talk about how you're going to cut all those individual shapes with the grain line. So if you're going to be using a quarter square triangle, you may think, well, I'm going to pop it just here like that. You don't want to do that. You want to pop it like that, going down with the grain line. So we always give you that little bit of information. We show you the shapes that you're going to be getting in whichever builder block pack there is, and we show you how to put them on the fabric. We allow 1/4 of an inch seam allowance through all of these, and then as you work through, you will see we give you how many of each size you need to cut out to make the different size blocks. So for some of these, you'll be able to make, you can make 3 inch, 4 inch, 6 inch, 9 inch, 8 inch, 9 inch and 12 inch blocks, but not necessarily for every design. So you can see here, this one you can do 12, 8, 6, 4 and 3, so pretty much everything. But this one down here, you can only do 6, 12 or 3 in this particular one. So you'll be able to see all those information. And we're giving it to you very clearly to show you how to cut everything out. Now, they look more complicated as you work through, but they really aren't. This one here, I know, is one of Sarah's favourite ones, the card trick. It looks really complicated when you look at that design there, but when we break it down and show you, it is just triangles. You've got half square triangles and you've got quarter square triangles to create those different designs. And as you work your way through the book, and these are only a small amount of the different designs that you can do, you will find a wealth of information online to show you all the different designs. And I think on our website, we have more designs that you could be making with these. And you'll get the gist. You'll be able to work out how to put them together without us giving these step-by-step instructions. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go with a fairly simple one, because I want to show you how quick it is for you to put something together. So I'm going to use the shoe fly, which is it's got like a little square in the middle, and then you've got half square triangles at each point, so you can see how you can make that little design. So we're just going to use 2 different colours of fabric, and I'm going to go for a 6 inch square block. So I need 5 2.5 inch squares, and I need 8 2.5 inch half square triangles. Try saying that without the teeth in is all I can say. Right, so we'll get a few bits of fabric. So let's use those 2 different patterns of fabric here. Now, when I'm cutting with my Gemini and using the Gemini cutting dies, the builder blocks, I like to use my fabric plates. Now, you can absolutely use the plates that come with your machine. If you're going to just be using the fabric plates that the plates that come with your machine, you've got a metal shim, which is quite flexible, and you've also got your frosted shim. Those are the things that you're going to need to cut your fabric. But you will find that that metal shim does get quite marked because the dies are much deeper. Now, I use my fabric plates for everything. I use them for paper craft as well, because I'm too lazy to walk to the other side of my room and pick up my actual normal plates. All you're going to do is you're going to be sandwiching your fabric and your dies within these 2 here, and then putting those white plates on the top of them. So whether you've got the old Gemini, the new Gemini, a Gemini with fabric plates or a Gemini without fabric plates, you can absolutely make this work for you. Right, so I need some squares. I need 2.5 inch squares. So I'm going to have a look at this. I've got my little road map here, so I'm going to make sure I pick up the right one, which is my most used one. As you can see, I love these and I use them all the time. It's my favourite thing to use. So there's my squares, and then I want half square triangles. Half square triangles, and I want 2.5 inch half square triangles. So once again, I'm going to look at my little road map. It shows me what size everything is, and I know it's that one. Again, the one that's well used. I'll put those to one side. Now, if I was doing this at home, I would spend a bit of time just cutting my fabric and ironing it to make sure I'm getting the most use out of my fabric wherever I can. But because I want to save a little bit of time, I'm just going to be quite quick at putting my fabric together. Now what I will do is I will fold that over like that, so I'm getting roughly the right size strip, like that. And I know I want to cut, I'm going to pretend that this colour on here is where the white is. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4 squares, but I need 1, 2, 3, 4 half square triangles. So I might be able to get everything out of this piece. I'm just going to fold it over. So that'll be my 4 there. Oh, it's going to be tight, I think. My 4 there. Okay, let's just trim that. And now I can cut 8 layers of fabric at any one time. So I know I'm going to need one of the squares in this colour, and then I'm also going to need 1, 2, 3, 4 in the triangles. So I'm going to pop that there. So I need to cut a few more triangles out of this one, and let me cut a strip of fabric here. So again, I want to make sure I'm going with my grain line. So I can see on this piece of fabric, I've got my salvage edge down here. So I know that salvage edge runs from left to right. So I know if my fabric needs to be like this on this strip, like that.
You learn something new every day in this place.
Do you, don't you?
You do, because I didn't realise that grains and the way you put it and the way you stretched it, just showing that stretching of the material, I thought.
It's quite significant,
wow.
actually, isn't it? You don't realise.
Absolutely.
And this is using cotton fabric. Obviously, if you're going to be using something else, something like a jersey, the jersey is going to stretch always. But it's always worth just checking before you decide to sort of cut anything out. So I want 1 square for that. So just cut that. So I'm going to be able to cut everything for this one block in one go, one pass with the machine. So that can go there. That's going to go on the top there. And then I want to do my triangles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just trim that piece of fabric there. So
I'm assuming that these will cut out like your multiple layers. How many would you recommend that you could get away cut with a
6,
clean
8,
cut?
generally, yes, 6 to 8. So I'm going to have to cough for a moment. 1 second.
It's all right. Bless you.
A little bit of water.
I know the feeling well, Becky. I've been cough-free for quite
dear.
a while now, and I'm really, really hoping to stay that way.
There were a few weeks where we really lost your voice, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, just a tad.
Couldn't quite get rid of it. Right, I'm just going to line that up. Now, I am heavy-handed with my tape because things move when you're using your dyes, when they're going through the machine. And the last thing you want to do is to find that your fabric has shifted and you've ended up not being able to, it's happened to me before, the dyes have shifted and they've moved onto another dye and I've got an indentation of one dye onto another and it's ruined it. So you don't want to do that. I tape onto, from my fabric to my dye to my board or to my plate. That is my preference. I just think it makes everything work a little bit better. So let's do that there. And I'm going to have to cut another strip of fabric to cut some more triangles for that. So I've got my white plate, I've got my fabric plate. They're labelled A and B. One is slightly thicker than the other. It doesn't actually matter which way around you use them. You sandwich your dye and your fabric in between the metal plates and then put your white plate over the top.
I think what I'll do, can our producer Nicola go and check if we've still got those fabric plates on the website? Because I think they're really handy to have.
Oh, they're really good.
Yeah, for your cutting of your fabrics rather than you using your... So if you have crossed between the two, rather than use the ones that use papercraft, use the ones that Becky's just recommended with those, because they're thicker, aren't they?
They're much, much thicker.
Yeah.
And I have to say, if there was something, a paper dye that I was using, and it was quite detailed, I've got a bit of tape just caught on that. It was quite detailed. Rather than using the metal shim that comes with your machine, I use one of these.
Ah.
That's because I just find it works a little bit better. So let's put that
So producer Nicola's just told me it looks like the Pro. So if you've got a Gemini Pro, they're the ones that are in stock for that. So, but keep your eyes peeled on the website. I think, can you still do the system where you press for it to come back in stock and you put your details in? Oh, so you can't at the moment, but they're working on bringing it back. Fabulous. Because I really missed, I found that really useful. So if it's not there now, I would miss that because it's really useful to have that. So I'm really pleased that they're bringing that back. But just keep your eyes peeled on the website for those, because I think those metal plates for the fabric are an absolute must-have when it comes to things like this.
So I'm going to need to cut out a few more of the triangles, but I'm going to show you what I'm going to be doing so far. So on here, we've got these triangles with the pink flowered fabric, and we've got a few two of the triangles. So I need to cut another 2 of those. The way we want to put them together, now you can see here, this is well, hopefully you can see here, it's not a complete triangle. You've got these little edges that have just been nicked out, and these are called the dog ears. So basically, if we had cut out a triangle with a pair of scissors or with a rotary cutter, we'd have these little extra bits of fabric that we would need to trim away once we've sewn them together to get rid of all the excess bulk. But because we're using the dies, we've already we've removed those for you. So it makes it nice and easy for you to put them together. Now you want to put them right sides together, and you want to line up those little dog ears. Now when you stitch along, you're going to be stitching from that top point here all the way along. That makes a perfect 1/4 inch seam allowance. So you're going to be running your machine all the way down here. Now I've got white fabric on the top, white thread on the top, an orange thread underneath, which isn't what we would normally do, but actually sometimes it's easier for you to see me sewing in a brightly coloured thread because you can really see it coming through. So we're going to stitch all the way along here. If you have a foot for your machine that shows you where that 1/4 inch is, that makes life a lot easier for you. Alternatively, if you're a bit nervous about stitching, you can always take a ruler and then just line up that little line there with a heat erasable pen or a bit of tailor's chalk, and then you can see where you're going to stitch on. That's the easiest thing to do. Now I don't tend to pin together when they're really small pieces, but I will do for this moment just to show you and just to hold everything together. So we're going to stitch on here, and we're going to use a normal 2.5 millimetre stitch, and we want to stitch back and forth at the beginning and end of the stitching. Now, in order to save time, now I've stitched that piece together, but if I'm going to be stitching lots of triangles together, I don't want to keep stopping and starting. So the easiest way to do this is to chain stitch them together. So just going to line them up together like before, and I'm not going to take away my sewing machine or my piece from the sewing machine. I'm just going to carry on. I'm going to butt up the stitching, a piece of fabric, up against the piece I've already sewn. So this is called chain stitching, and it will just allow you to keep on going. Go back and forth again at the beginning and end. And you could do that with all of your pieces, and you could chain stitch them together, and it will just mean that all you've got to do when you come back, you'll have a nice long line of all these triangles. You just need to snip them apart. Now what we want to do is we want to fold out these triangles. Now how you would do, you've got your seam allowance under here. You normally fold that seam allowance against or behind the darkest piece of fabric, so it doesn't show. So if you're showing white and black, you would always put that piece against the black part.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It just means that you don't see it. I'm just going to finger press this at the moment rather than giving it a proper iron, which I will do later. But you can see how that is now a perfect square. So if I put one of these squares on top of it, you will see that you can't see it at all.
Oh my days.
So, and that is the beauty of using using the die cutting machine, because you're going to be using these dies, you're going to get that perfect stitch every single time, perfect results every single time. And it means that perhaps there would be things that you wouldn't have tried before because you were too nervous, because they look too complicated. You know now that you can cut loads and loads of triangles, they're going to be perfect, you're going to be able to stitch them all together. So we've got these little triangles over here, and we're just going to continue to put everything together.
That's amazing. I had no
It is,
idea
isn't it?
that those little tips. That do you know we say that every day is a school day? It genuinely is, and I always. And this is why I'm really excited about coming to do the softer side with you, so I could. Because I love watching you, Becky, and I look at you and think, oh my God, she's such a pro. But then you've just explained it in such an easy way, and then having the right tools to do the job.
That's the key thing, isn't it? You always want the right tools to do the right job. And it's a little bit like anything, you know, when we've had people message in about papercraft and they said, oh, I'm using a glue stick that I got from a stationer's, you know, the well-known glue stick, and we're like, oh, and it's not sticking together, and you're like, okay, well, you need to use the right tools to do the right job.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Similar kind of thing.
I've had a question, Becky, if I can ask you, because from Debbie Mahan on YouTube, she's saying, Becky, the fabric cutting plates for the Gemini 2 are 6x9. Would these plates work in a Gemini Junior?
No.
So do you know that, because the new fabric plates obviously work with the Gemini 2, which we know about. Yeah. So would they fit through the Junior as well?
No, because they're this size. So obviously the Junior. So we do fabric plates for the Junior.
Yes.
9 by 6. Yes.
I think the question that she's asking, and from my head, and I'm hoping I'm right, Debbie, because I think she's asking. I don't think she's got the Gemini 2. Right. I think she's got a Gemini Junior, and I just wonder if the plates would fit through the Gemini itself, and I think they will. They will, won't they? Yeah. So, because the new plates are designed, and this is for papercraft and fabric.
Yes, absolutely.
They will work through your old machines. It'd be daft if we didn't. It would be daft if we stopped doing that, because you've got those machines. Not everybody's got a Gemini 2, so I think that's what she's asking. And if I'm wrong, let me know, Debbie. But if I'm right, and you're wanting to know if the Gemini Junior size of the 9 by 6 would fit through your original Junior and the fabric cutting plates, I think the answer is definitely resounding yes. Yes.
Yeah. We think we're there.
We think.
Yeah.
I know. It's only because I'm thinking. I think that's how that's worded. That
if you can use, if you're using, you know, we often use our Junior plates in the original Gemini.
Yes.
If you've got those size plates, you can use them in that. And equally with the Junior, because the throat's this depth, isn't it? Is that right? Junior. Hold on a minute.
So do you mean the mouth of the machine?
Yeah, so if you had the Junior and you had the Junior fabric plates, they'll go through, but you wouldn't be able to get, if you had the original size, which is basically the A4 size, which is what dimensions, 11.5?
So they're 12 by 9. 9 by 12. Gosh,
9 by 12. These won't go in.
Yeah. But I think she's got 6 by 9. Yeah. And she's just wanting to know if they will fit
and they'll go through either machine.
Perfect. Yeah. Thank you. I knew we'd get there in the end, Becky. I knew we'd get there in the end.
It's better to be sure, because sometimes you're like, oh, hold on a minute, and then people are like, no, that's not what I'm trying to ask.
Jeanette Shirley on YouTube said she's new to soft crafts.
Oh,
she's enjoying watching you, Becky, because she explains things so that I feel confident that she could do it too. And do you know, I'm going to agree with you, Jeanette, because I've told you before, I used to sew when I was younger, but everything was by hand stitch. My mum bought us a sewing machine. I did everything by eye, never followed a pattern, couldn't follow a pattern, wouldn't have a clue where to start. Yeah. But watching you today with the builder block system, I just think has shown me that I actually could do this. I could do this. And I just think, I wonder if I need to get myself a sewing machine, Becky.
I think this is the thing. Patchwork was something that I I looked at and I was like, yeah, I don't really get it. You get a big piece of fabric and then you cut it into smaller bits of fabric and then you put it all together to make a big piece of fabric. I didn't really get it. And then I started doing it and I was like, actually, it's really quite amazing, the kind of things that you can make. And no, a lot of those patchwork quilts I'd looked at were kind of like the things that, you know, my grandmother would have made, but you can make some really fabulous ones. But being able to cut all these things out, all these shapes out, are really tricky, and they take a lot of time. And if you've watched me before, you know I have very short attention span. So if I can't finish something quickly, I just lose interest. I'll make something and I'll just say to my mum, just finish it. I can't do it. I don't like that bit anymore. So for me, these are a game changer, because I wouldn't have dreamt of making some of the quilts that I have done, because
I've seen some of your work, it's beautiful.
I just think I wouldn't have done it because I just thought, I'm not going to sit there and cut 600 triangles out. It's just not going to happen. Whereas, now I think, actually, I can do that in an afternoon.
Yeah, Rosalind's agreeing about the system came in handy when she had to cut out a bunch of quilting squares because she was able to cut 6 to 8 squares with one die. Could I ask a question then, Becky, with this system? Because obviously there's a lot of dies in there.
Yeah.
And I've seen you just cut 2 dies for the shapes that you're working on.
Yeah.
Could you do multiple dies on your platform?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah?
And actually, if you were planning a quilt, the idea would generally be that you would be working. So, but basically, a quilt is made out of blocks, and blocks are a square. So what we're making here is a square made up of other squares. So that's how we look at it. So you look at a quilt that might be a 3 by 9 quilt. So you have 3 blocks. And then it's by 9. And the blocks can be any kind of size. They could be 3 inches, they could be 8 inches, they could be 12 inches. So that's how we work it out. So the bigger the block, and the bigger the pieces are, the bigger the kind of design would be. But when you're planning your design, you would inevitably using a particular colour pattern. You would work it all out. And actually, when I do a quilt, I work it out on graph paper, and I think, well, that block is going to be a shoe fly, and that one's going to be a 9 patch, and I'll work it all out and I'll colour it in. So actually, using the space that you get on your plate, you can fit all of those different pieces of fabric on here. You can see, this piece is only this size. And if you're doing different size blocks or you're doing different patterns, you might not necessarily be using the same dies throughout all of your designs. So you could fill up the whole of this and put it through your machine, and it would take no time at all. But I mean, equally, if you've dropped one or you've mucked up a bit of sewing and you just think, I can't really salvage that, you can easily cut another one because it's just going to take you no time at all. So I've cut out a few more triangles, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to put these together as I did the last ones. She says, losing her voice very rapidly. Talk deeper, Becky. That's what you need to do. Hello.
The higher the pitch, the squeakier you get.
Yeah.
Debbie's got back to us and she says, thank you very much for you answering my question. And Jeanette says that Debbie said exactly about my experience with sewing, all by guesswork, never used a pattern. And I'm just saying, Becky, honestly, seriously, I'm even tempted. And honestly, we don't have very many of this system left. So build a block patchwork system that you're seeing on the screen right now, what Becky has been using is $59.99 or $83.97. But of course, if you are new to Club Inspire, you've not signed up, you could sign up today. Doesn't cost anything. There's no gimmicks, we don't go in with the hard pressure of sending you emails out every single day, blah, blah, blah. It's none of that. It's literally you taking advantage on being in a club that's a loyalty club. And for every £1 you spend, you get a point. Apart from when it's triple points, double points, whatever system's going off at the time. You will automatically get 250 points when you first sign up as well. But if you first sign up, you can take advantage of that purple box on the screen and get yourself that 20% off your very first order. If you're doing that, can I just say, take advantage. Go and have a look. We've got loads of deals that we've got to get through in this next 1 hour 20. So there is serious amounts of savings to be done. And if you're new to crafting or new to soft crafts today, take advantage and get signed up so that you can take advantage of that 20% off. And of course, all our platinum members will anyway. $47.99 it is here in the UK, and $67.18 it is in the US or stateside. So yeah, absolutely. And I'm loving watching your work, Becky. I'm not going to say, I just love watching your work.
Well, there we're stitching the strips together now, so you can see how that's beginning to look. So we want that one over there. Where's on with the other one? Where have I put you? Or did I cut too many? I needed one of those. I don't know what I've done with that. Maybe it's on the floor.
It'll either be on the floor or in the bin.
In the bin, probably.
Yeah.
So you can see you've got the triangles up here. I'm going to do another triangle down here. Oh, maybe I want to do it like that. Maybe that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm doing. Oh my goodness, there you go. So I want to have that one facing that way, and then that piece down here. So I've just sewn those triangles together the way we did before. You can see we've got those there, and we're going to put these together here and this strip, and then the other strip, and then we're just going to strip the strips together. Stitch the strips together, and we're all done. No, we're no strips, just strips. You know what I mean, Debbie? So just go back and forth at the beginning and end of each one.
Nikoni on YouTube says, I think she's a bit impressed with you, Becky, because she's put, look at Becky arranging those plates without even looking and talking to the camera. She was super impressed with that. I bet you didn't realise you were multitasking then,
No,
did you? It's automatic. That's the thing, is we do things on autopilot, don't we?
We do. Do you know what? And I was saying to you about my mum. So I bought my mum a Gemini and I showed her how to use it. And then, you know, time has passed and, you know, she's forgotten. And then she was saying to me, oh, I can't remember the plate configuration. And I'm just like wittering. I was like, blah, 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 because it's something we do all the time without thinking.
Yeah.
And my mum went, oh, I'm just lost. And I was like, okay, I'm going to come to the house and show you again.
Rhonda Crowley's Creations on YouTube says she loves her BAB system, which in short is your builder block.
Yeah.
For anybody thinking, what's a BAB? Yes, don't forget it is National Pet Day today. I've seen Margaret's comment on Facebook. She said, hi both. Debbie, after yesterday's show, I ordered a 6 pencil, came today. Thanks for the tip. She sent a picture of a lovely boy in, so I'm really looking forward to seeing these pictures. I can't wait to see them. And Colleen Cowell Passardi on Facebook, she says, Becky, love watching you teaching us all about material and sewing, and I'm going to second and third that, because absolutely it's something I don't get often to do, so, and definitely not so much on this side anymore, so it's nice to work with Becky, to watch her in action, because to see what she can create and the way she explains everything, for me, makes this super easy. But again, having the right tools for the job or what is making Becky, and I know I'm not taking away from your skill set, Becky, because I know you're incredibly talented, but made easy with a system, with the right system.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I say, I wouldn't attempt to make this, I have to be honest. And I would have lost interest a good few pieces of fabric ago. It really is a great way of doing these things. So I'm just trying to, so I wanted to show you from start to finish really how to do a block. So I've got this now here like this. Now all I want to do, I've got these strips, I want to sew the strips together. So I'm going to place them like that, and I would really be nesting my seams, which I'm not going to do today because I'm conscious that we've got quite a lot of items to show you, and I've been wittering on about one that I know we don't have very many of. So I'm going to put this together, but I would be nesting my seams, so everything nice and flat. But I'm just going to run this down, and then and then we'll do the other one as well, and then you've got a block ready done. And that is a block from start to finish, taken no time at all, even though I've been wittering and chatting. You could be making a quilt, so quite an extensive quilt, in no time at all. Over the weekend you could make a whole quilt and not have to think that it's unachievable.
I was talking, when I was in the green room, because we go down to Hobby Maker, and I was in the green room, and I saw a quilt that she'd said she was starting the night before, went into the green room the next day, she'd done it. And I was like, oh my life, how did you do it that quick? And she went, your builder block system.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my goodness.
I can't tell you how many times I've been in the green room talking to a quilter, and I go, and they're like, what's that? Especially when we very first started down there, and I was sort of showing them, and they were like, oh my God, I've spent weeks, months cutting all these triangles. You're telling me I could have cut all those triangles in the time it takes me to watch an episode of EastEnders? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
As simple as that. Exactly.
There you go. Let's give that a bit of an iron. And you can see here we've got a block ready done using that builder block system.
That's beautiful. I love the fabric as well, Becky.
Pretty,
that fabric's
isn't it?
Lovely. Yeah, absolutely.
Very easy, and it makes it making quilts and all sorts of designs very achievable in no time at all. It's great. A very useful thing to do. And of course you've got all those different designs in here, so you know it's not just that one. And the builder block is something that will grow with you as you move up. There's a builder block plus, which has triangles, half rectangle triangles, isosceles triangles and rectangles, and you will find you can use some of those other designs in here. But we also have other builder blocks like winding ways and the alphabet, and you'll be able to mix and match all of those together and make really beautiful designs.
And I've had a couple of questions, if I can just get these quickly in before we take a little break.
Yeah.
Rhonda Crowley's Creations on YouTube, she says, please let everyone know why you are ironing the seams the way that you do. Because you did it automatically again, didn't you?
Yeah.
And I think that might answer Jeanette Shirley on YouTube her question as well, because she's saying she just keeps sewing. You don't need to go back and forth on the ends of each shape.
I do. And I'll tell you for why, because there've been a number of times when I've had to unpick things or things aren't quite cut right, especially if I've not put my glasses on and I'm stitching. So by stitching back and forth at the beginning of each thing that you sew, it means that everything's sort of anchored in. So if I just stitched all the way straight across and I cut my thread a little bit short, and perhaps I hadn't sewn it all together for a while, I might have sewn a block or a strip but not sewn the whole thing together, I may find over time it frays or the stitching comes apart. So it's better to stitch back and forth. Now, it's messy on the back. I was saying about nesting my seams. So ideally, I would have been pressing my seams and making sure that it all lie in the same way to keep them nice and straight. So say, for example, down here I've done it without thinking about it. So I've got my nice seam going across here, and then I've got my main seam across here. So everything's lying nice and flat. Now you can see up here when I haven't done that, I've almost got two pieces folded on top of each other. So it means that when I come to finish off my quilt, I'll have a little bit of a lump there.
Yeah.
And the idea is we want to, whilst we're stitching together small pieces of fabric to make a large piece of fabric, we want everything to lie nice and flat. So I haven't done that. And because I'm rushing to try and get everything done, I'm very messy on the back, and I've just literally just pressed it. But pressing it is an absolutely key thing. You should press your fabric before you use it. You should press it while you're using it and press it after you've finished putting it together. But don't press with steam when you're doing quilting, because sometimes things can shrink if you haven't pre-washed your fabric. My top tip is I always pre-wash my fabric for everything, because I think it's better, and I work a lot with fabrics that have got natural dyes, and the natural dye will come off your hands as you're working, and even with denim you'll find that as well, so wash your fabrics beforehand. But yeah, that's basically why.
And what do you mean by the term nest? I think that's
so
what Jeanette's wanting to know.
Where you're nesting your seams, that's when you're sort of putting your seams together so they lie flat together. So you can see here, that's all looking nice and neat because they're all sort of lying on top of each other but flat.
Yes.
Whereas up here, what was that dropped on the floor? Up here I've made a bit of a mess because I've caught rather than having that seam going downwards, I've caught the top of it up there. So I've created like this little kind of fold, which is really untidy. You can see how untidy that is versus how neat this is. So nesting your seams would be when you're making sure your seams are all sort of slotting into each other and they fall nicely. Yeah. And you will find, in actual fact, as I've done each of these triangles, again, I didn't press every single one, I just finger pressed them. You will find that the fabric sort of naturally folds a particular way. Mm-hmm. And as I said before, when you have your seams, ideally you want them to be, excess fabric to be facing where the darkest piece of fabric is, so they don't show at the white. So if you've got black and white, for example, and this piece was white, you would see that little seam of fabric going on behind the white fabric. Yeah. So just think about those sorts of things. Don't rush through them like I do. Just spend a bit of time putting them together.
Thank you very much. So I hope that answers some of your questions. Don't forget, keep your pictures coming in of your national pets, or should we say your pets, because it's National Pet Day today. But we are going to give you time to check out. Now, I have said to you, we have got a lot of deals to get through, and we are endeavouring to get through all of them. I'm going to tell you right now because we've got a lot to get through. So we're going to have a slight break, and when you come back, we'll run through those for you. But of course, you could get ahead of that right now by heading over to that website and shopping ahead of those fabulous deals. Go and check the show out and see what we've got on offer, because some of those deals are better prices in this show than they are on the springtime deals sale. Thank you, Nick. Right. Have a little look at this and we'll see you in a couple of minutes.
Getting set all my cameras, my TV monitors, make sure all the lights are on. Check off some things before, then we go live, 1 and 5. After that, we'll need to make sure everything's switched ready for the next day. Then I get to go home, some TV, watch some movies, and I'm making some food, and then the best part of my day is probably for the first the day. I enjoy it. It's just fun. Get into the day. It's when everyone's saying good morning and everyone's chatting on the live chat. Yeah. I'd say I'm an owl, but I'm also up quite early, so a bit of both. Shower at night time. Coffee. I like iced coffees more than hot. Savoury. Yes. Phones helps with the bus rides. I like noodles, but it has to be done properly in the pan. Whack egg, spring onion. Trimmings. By J Park. I take the bus timetable to get home.
Check my emails. This shows out. Studio pack shots up. Then I will get news, pick shows, solve any problems that need solving. We deal with other teams. We receive market and sweets. We receive to send maker. We samples to send to QVC. We'll take the pre-shows out of the studios, set new shows. We do manage occasionally, not all the time, make that the expert presenters have everything at hand that they need. Anything we haven't got during shows, we will run about and get product for them. I think on a when it's really quiet, I can get when there's nobody else in the night owl. Coffee morning. Rest of the day. Save. Normally time. Along. Mobile phone. Christina's chicken. Barry White. My first, my last, my thing. Go home and tea.
Stinks.
Where's Debbie gone?
Hello. I cannot believe how big this thing is. I'm like, my God, this is massive. Absolutely massive. Now, you've seen us do the build block. We did say in this next part, we was going to go through some of the deals. And in the second hour, we absolutely will be doing. Now, fabric cutter. I've had to take it out of the box because our Becky's going to show you why you need this beauty in your life. And it is fabulous. I'm not going to lie, Becky. I was quite impressed when I got this out. And I'm like, I love it. So, fabric cutter. If I come and give it to you, I'll give all the details because our Becky's going to show you how to use it, and I'll pop it on end for you, Becky. It is a big boy, and Becky will go through all the sizes for you, but again, you can see it there. It's a 15-inch by 12.5-inch fabric cutter that makes cutting fabric super easy. The price on the screen, $49.99, is not even the price that it normally is because it's just under £60, or $76.49 in the stateside. However, look at the price in the purple box.
Wow.
What a saving. $39.99 or $61.19 for possibly what I would consider to have in my life as a paper crafter the right tool to cut my cardstock with. I'm assuming that this is the same, Becky, for you in your life with fabric.
Yeah, it's basically a fabric guillotine. That's how it works. Now, the great thing about this is, sorry, I'm going to have to talk deeper. In here, if I hold it up, right, maybe you can just see, you've got a little rotary blade in here. And it's the same, it's a 45mm rotary blade, which is the same size that you get with our rotary cutters. And we always give you extra ones in the rotary cutters. You just twist this little star, just there, and undo it, and then that would be able to come out. So what happens is the blade only engages with the fabric when you press down on here. So if I hold it like that, you can see what that pushes down. And that's what cuts everything. Now, the great thing about this is it's lightweight. You know, initially I thought it was glass. It's not, it's a heavy acrylic. It's lightweight, it's got a little handle at the top. And for somebody who wants to cut, say for example, strips of fabric or any kind of shape, and you don't want to, you might not necessarily find that you've got that right size in the Gemini for a particular shape. Using a rotary cutter, if I grab my rotary cutter, you would use your rotary cutter with your, what's this called? Ruler. So, my ruler's not as big as it should be because I broke the end of it off. But you're cutting like this and you're having to keep your pressure on all the time. And it's a little bit tricky if you're not able to stand and if you're sitting in a chair, it's very difficult to get the continued pressure as you go beyond here. But equally, as you go further away from yourself, it's very difficult to keep this from moving around. And I'm not the only one I know who uses your rotary cutter, and then towards the very end, you slightly veer off at an angle, so you're not cutting everything straight. Now, the beauty with the fabric cutter is that because it's this large piece of acrylic, you could be sitting at a chair, and you can lean your whole body weight on it, and that will sort of position everything, keep everything nice and tight. And then you're just pressing down on here. You're not having to hold something. So if you've got issues with your dexterity, it's easy. And you just push all the way up, and you're going to be cutting it straight all the time, and you can pull it back to you, which is unusual, because generally when you cut with a rotary cutter, you're always cutting away, but you can move back and forth. Now, I particularly like this because I work off big bolts of fabric. So I could get a whole bolt of fabric and I could fold the fabric into 4, and then I could cut strips quite easily. So I'm going to sort of put my fabric like this, and you've got lots and lots of measurements down here to show you, how in centimetres and also in inches. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up one of these lines here with the bottom of that piece of that folded fabric, like that, and I'm going to press down and I'm going to pull like that, and that's going to cut those edges off, and then I can just move it around so I know that that is 1 inch. I want to move on to another inch, and then I can pull back, and you're going to be able to do that no problem at all, cutting that really, really easily.
And that's perfect explanation of why you need the fabric cutter in your life. And I'm just being blown away by that, because to get that explanation for me is perfect, and as it is for all the newbies as well. So that's the deal on the screen, $49.99, $76.49, or the platinum price that you can see on the screen. Right. We're into the second hour, can you believe, already? And we did say we've got lots of deals for you. This is softer side of life and a little bit of a cartloady kind of style in terms of the prices, some of the best ever deals, and some deals that are in this show, can I just tell you, are better that you will see that's on the spring. I always get this bit wrong. The spring deals that are on the website right now. So some of the deals that we've got on this show are better than those. So please do bear with us. We will endeavour to get through all of the deals that we possibly can, as humanly possibly as can, because we've got a load still under here and a load over on the shelves as well. And our lovely Becky has told you in that first hour why you need the builder pot in your life. Very, very limited now, let me just tell you, because we only started in single figures. We're down to the low end of single figures now. And of course, why you need a good fabric cutter in your life as well, which the details are on the screen right now. Now, this is loads and loads of fun, because for me, I'm presenting and watching our Becky do those demonstrations in that first hour made me want to run out and go and buy all that stuff. And I don't even sew. So I'm just telling you some incredible, incredible deals. Now, what did you say we were going to first, producer Nick? The shape creator. Now, this sounds fascinating, Becky. So I'm going to ask you, is that this? Aha. Aha. The shape creator. Junior shape creator. $12.99, $14.97, platinum price for £10.39 or $11.98. I think this is a little bit of a bargain, because we're talking half price. What a deal. Becky, tell us why we need a junior shape creator in our lives.
To be honest, at that price, if you're only ever going to use it to cut half-inch strips, it's still well worth the money. So this is what it looks like, and we've been quite canny here. I'm using my northern words. Canny.
Canny?
Because we printed the instructions on the item, so you can't go, oh, I've lost the piece of paper that came with the details, because they're all on the side to make it nice and easy for you. Also on the back of the packaging, we show you how you're going to be creating bits and pieces on here. So we've got little images, but it's actually really easy to use. If I put that back on here, you can see it a bit better. Now what you've got here is you've got, at half-inch increments, you've got a little cut-out diamond at the bottom and at the top, and then there's a little cut all the way through, like a groove, and that is where you're going to be putting your rotary cutter. So you're going to line up your fabric, and you're going to think, okay, well, I want to cut a 3-inch strip, so I'll pop it on my diamond of my 3 inches, and I'm just going to hold it carefully, and my rotary cutter is going to go through those little grooves and cut that 3-inch strip. But we also tell you how to cut other pieces, other shapes. For example, how you can cut triangles, and you just use that strip of fabric that you've cut and you line it up against these different images, these different lines here. And again, you will just mark where you want to cut. So you're always going to be cutting horizontally, vertically. You're always going to be cutting vertically with your rotary cutter. But we can see here, so for example, for the triangles, we're going to cut out a square of fabric, and then we want to position the square along the 45-inch guideline, 45-degree guideline, which is this one here. And then you cut your square in half to create half-square triangles. And then you can rotate the half-square triangles to 90 degrees, which is, where's my 90 degrees? So all the way over again, and then you'll be able to cut quarter square triangles. So it gives you lots of information there. And if I show you how easy it is to use, I will just cut a couple of strips here. So I'm going to cut through 2 layers of fabric at a time. I'm just going to fold that over. And I've already trimmed that edge. That was the edge that I trimmed with my fabric cutter. So I know that is a perfectly square piece of fabric. So if I pop my piece of fabric on here. Now I can see, I'm going to line this all up. So if I want to cut say I want to do a 3-inch piece, 3-inch strip, I'm going to line up that 3-inch line against that edge of my fabric. and I'm going to use my rotary cutter. Now you either want to use a 45mm rotary cutter or the 225mm rotary cutter. The 61 is a bit too big. So it goes in this little, it's like a safety triangle is what I would call it. It goes in here, and then you're just going to press down with your rotary cutter, and it's going to go all the way through that little groove. And then when you get to the other safety triangle, you take it off. And then you've got your strip. It's been cut perfectly. So you could choose to cut a hexagon, for example. So you just follow the instructions that are down here to create diamonds. So you could put something like this over here. Let's do a strip, and we'll put that on 45 degrees, like that. And then I want to cut, let's go from 6 all the way up, maybe to 6.5 or 5, like that. And then I want to do 3. No, I've got
Look at that.
those little diamonds like that. So you can do all sorts of things with that. But not only that, we did think, well, it seems a shame, these little corners, not making full use of them. So why don't we use those to make circles? How do you make circles like that? So you get a piece of fabric, and let's just get a piece of scissors, you know what I mean? Some scissors, and I want to fold this into quarters. I'm going to fold it in half first of all, and I'm doing it quite roughly, and then I'm going to fold it into quarters again. So now I've got a nice right angle here where those two folds are, and I'm going to put my right angles down here against those right angles of that circle. Now I'm going to move this so I've got a nice way of cutting. I'm going to use my rotary cutter, and I'm just going to go around that curve, and then when I fold out that, I've got a triangle there.
Oh my life.
So clever, isn't it? And
Very
really
clever.
useful for if you haven't got a lot of space. As I say, even if you're going to cut, I mean, you can see here, 1/2 inch strips are going to be really difficult. Sometimes you might want to use 1/2 inch or maybe 1 inch strips, and cutting them is quite tricky. You can cut with no problem at all. Just put all your fabric here, go through those 1/2 inch strips, no problem, using this. And all you need is your rotary cutter. You need a cutting board to be working on, but it's a really easy way of doing it. And for £10.39, I mean, like I say, even if you're just going to use it for cutting strips, it's well worth it.
Absolutely, and genuinely, that blew me away, because I've seen it before, but I hadn't seen it with the circles.
Yeah,
So the fact that you can do all of that with that grid, and then you just need your rotary cutter, that's fantastic. Half price deal. Guys, literally, if you know someone in your life who think that would be a perfect tool for them, run, don't walk to that website, to that checkout, go and get it while it's at that fabulous price. And of course, take advantage, if you are Club Platinum or brand new to Club Inspire, take advantage of that cracking price that's in the purple box. £10.39 or $11.98 for a very useful tool in the world, in your soft craft world, in your, honestly, that's just amazing. Right, next deal. Oh, just before we go, let me just, go, where are we going? We're not going anywhere. We've got loads more deals to come through. Keep your comments coming in, keep your questions coming in, because we've got social media superstar Rachel on the job, sending comments through. Let me see if I can do this right. Elizabeth Maldonado on Facebook says, good morning, a little late, but catching up. You haven't missed much. Well, a bit of a fib. You have. You've missed an hour already, but you haven't missed out on some of the deals yet. Hanging by a thread is all I'm going to say. Go over to the website. Yes, when I say hanging by a thread, like a little cotton, that's going to be gone before the end of the show. If you want builder block in your life and you missed that first hour, trust me, Becky showed you in that first hour why you need it. Go and run and grab hold of it while you can at that fantastic price. However, it's National Pet Day. We've been asking you to send your photos in. I believe some are coming through, and we'll share with those in a moment for you. But we've got deals to be had. Next deal was, now I'm going to have to go, do you know, we had a deal at the beginning of the show. I said to you, Debbie, I can present, of course I can present, but I need everything lined up for me, so I know where we're going. And now you're telling me to go and find some on the bookshelves. I'm like, Becky, can you go and find it before we
I'll
go to
find it.
Thank you very much, because
You
I'll
waffle.
be hunting high and low. Have you seen how many deals are on that bookshelf?
There's quite a lot here,
I've got 4
actually.
shelves full of items that we haven't even shared with you. That's why I'm saying shop ahead, go and grab hold of them while you can. Thank you very much, Becky, because I wouldn't have found them. But we have got some amazing deals. Now, producer Nick wants us to bring this one up right now because it's a cracking deal. Now, it's the Builder Banner and Bloom Builder. I'll have to say that slowly. And our Becky is going to tell you how this deal is a must in your life. £11 or $14.50, over 70% saving. Is that right, Nick? 70% saving. Take a look at the purple box, less than £10. You are going to get these 2 incredible dies, which I know Becky's going to explain to you why you need those in your life for your banners and your blooms. £8.80 or $11.60. Becky, before that one sells out,
Yep.
tell us more about this.
Right. Now, really useful. Let's be honest, we use banners, we use pennants and bunting all the time. What better way to be able to make it all yourself and be able to personalise it? So in here, you're going to be getting a die which forms the main part of the bunting, banner, whichever way you want to call it. But you'll also be getting extra dies to create different finishes. So if I show you on here, you've got ones where you have, which way around? That one goes that way, like that. So you have your inverted
Oh,
peak.
I like.
Then you've got one that would create, well, it doesn't go that way, it goes in here, it's like that. So that would create that point. But you've also got one with a curved edge and then a scalloped edge as well. So you've got lots and lots of options. So you get the dies in this collection here, but you also get little templates with all the lettering. So you just need to cut around those, or you can ink them on, whichever one you want to do. And the other item that comes with it is a Builder Blooms. It's a set of dies with lots of the flowers. So again, you can be using those together or using them separately. They're multimedia dies, so you can cut out card as well. So if you didn't want to cut these out of fabric and you wanted to make them out of card, you can absolutely do that. You can make and sell. So perhaps you want to make some bunting that you're going to sell on, you know, a craft fair or something like that. Make them out of fabric, make them out of felt, make them out of card as well. So it gives you all of those different options. So what we're going to do is we're going to put these through the Gemini. Once again, we're going to use the white plates and the fabric plates because we're going to be cutting through multiple layers of fabric in one go. We are going to use, I've got some pink fabric. I've just got 4 pieces here to show you, and I'm going to cut out 4 of the rectangles. So what we do is we cut out the rectangles first, and then she loses her voice again. Cut out the rectangles first, and then you cut out the ends and the finishing point. So you could do different ones. You know, you could just do them all in one fabric, but do different ends to them. You can absolutely do that. And I just love the fact that bunting is expensive if you're going to buy it. You know, if you want it in a child's bedroom, for example, with their name or on their door, you know, you're probably paying, I'd say, in excess of £6 per letter or per flag, which can be quite expensive if you've got a name like
Sapphire.
Yeah, or
8 letters.
Ermintrude.
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 Is that the cow from Magic Roundabout?
It is, yeah.
I thought it was,
So
yeah.
your age, Debbie.
Oh, yeah, I am just a little. Do you know what I've got excited about this, Becky? I'm not going to lie. I know you're making it out of fabric, but I've just seen it with a paper craft like side of things, and the fact that you can cut through mount board with these, and also like you've said, felt and foam and all those kind of things. But paper, multiple layers of paper in one pass of the machine. I'm just literally. I'm wanting to run to the website myself right now at that price.
Especially that price.
Because that's a cracking price for 2 sets of dies. That's an amazing price. And seeing you cut this out in fabric and making it look so easy, but again, it's those dies.
So there are my triangles, rectangles, whatever you're going to call triangles.
Triangles?
Triangles. I don't know my shapes. I don't know my shapes. Isn't that awful? Right, so we can choose what we're going to do. I quite like, I think I like that. Like a traditional kind of look. So I'm just going to make sure that I've got everything lined up there. And you may find if you haven't got them quite lined up, you might have to just trim those little edges when it comes out, but don't worry too much. Just put it like that. And then lots of tape, because I like being heavy-handed with my tape. I think it's better to be heavy-handed and everything move around.
Exactly.
So 4 layers. Again, we're going to pop that through the machine. Now, you might have heard that bang noise. That is because always, without fail, I never offset any of my dies. I don't know why, I just can't do it. I put everything straight like that. The thing is, once it goes over the rollers, it makes a bang because it's going over that whole piece in one go. If you just offset it like that, you won't have that. But if I've done it again.
Yeah, you have.
I always do it. I can't.
I didn't want to say anything, but after our discussion last night when we were back at the house,
yeah,
I get it. Yeah. Because I will admit, I'm sometimes like that.
Yeah.
Do you know, are you one of those? Because I don't know if you've ever seen my cupboard with food, all my labels are forward.
It's like sleeping with the enemy.
I think there's a problem with me sometimes because I'm like, nope, it's got to be the right way around.
Is that how I can tell which is your shelf at the house?
You can tell which is mine. You'll see it with my bath stuff, all the labels facing the front.
I didn't know that, Debbie.
It's terrible. It's a terrible trait to have. It is.
Right, so I obviously didn't get it right to the very points there. So I've just got a couple of threads, which I'm just going to trim off.
Oh, that's nothing. It's done the majority of the work, and it's just down to that fraction of a millimetre in the terms of the cut, isn't it? That's,
exactly, and it's done 4 of those in one go. So we're just going to put them to one side. Now, if I just get rid of all of that gubbins that I've got here, and then put that to one side. Now, when I want to use my letters, I might watch what we're going to say. Who's the person we're going to write for? So I've only got 4. It's going to have to be
Ezra.
Ezra. Okay.
Ezra, yeah. Although it's on pink fabric, it's fine. He rocks a pink look now and again.
Why can't I not find any of my letters? E, yeah, E.
You're looking for E, Z, R and A. I can see the A at the top. R bottom left. A is at the top. And then the Z.
I've got it. Right. So I'm going to have to use, I'm going to use this bright red because I thought it was quite nice, this red colour.
That's a nice fabric,
yeah. Now you've got to be sensible with when you're using these. So obviously, if I'm writing on the back of something, I've got to flip it over because I've got to make sure it's the right way round.
Yeah.
Now the best way of doing this would be for me to have picked up the Bonder web which I've left outside. It's outside, doesn't matter. We'll pretend we've got it on here. Do I need it now? Would you mind? I don't know if you'll be able to find it, to be honest.
You'd be all right asking me
I think actually it's in the black bag that's on the floor, and it looks like sort of a paper. You know what it looks like? Like a paper kind of thing. Oh, she's gone. Randomly chat. So with Bonder web, what it is it's like a sheet of glue. Now we can absolutely use the spray glue that we have, which is our stick and stay. That works really well. But sometimes when you've got really thin, flimsy bits and pieces, sometimes it's a little bit easier if you've got something that you can stick on. So if we find it, we'll use it. But if not, let's not worry too much about it because we can just spray it. So we're going to pop that like so. And we want to draw around here. I'm using a heat erasable pen, which I don't think we've got in stock at the moment, but we will do soon. You could use any kind of pen if it's not going to show up. Oh, that's not the right stuff. Sorry, that's fusible interfacing.
Oh, is that the wrong one?
Yeah,
Oh,
sorry. It looks like greaseproof paper folded up. It doesn't matter.
In a black bag.
In the black bag on the floor. It's great having staff. So I'm going to cut round here, and we'll use the spray glue, which will work just as well. It's just that when they're small things, I tend to use Bonder web because it keeps everything sort of more solid, if you see what I mean. Yeah, it's quite when you're spraying glue onto something and it's quite small and flimsy, it moves around a little bit, and I end up getting gluey. That's it. Thank you very much. We'll do one in one way and one in another, then we can show you. So we're just going to cut through here. I probably won't get the whole of Ezra's name done, but I can do a little bit of it. And I'm just going to snip into here, and then I'll find some smaller scissors rather than using my great big lumping scissors. And then we can just cut round and the inside part of letter A. Did we get any photos of
Well, we
pets?
have, and we both, me and myself, Rachel, have been laughing at this, because Mistress Dehook said, you know, we've been asking for photos of your pets, because it's National Pet Day. She says, does an husband count as a pet?
An animal,
Perhaps
sometimes.
It's more like having a toddler. That did make me laugh too, Rachel, when I saw that. Yes, we are going to show some pictures. It is National Pet Day. I've already seen loads of things on the socials today, across lots of different channels, because it is National Pet Day. We're celebrating our pets in our life. But yeah, I'm loving this, Becky. So you're just attaching that onto the back with an
Yeah, so
iron.
basically this is a sheet of glue and it has greaseproof paper on one side. So what I'm doing is I've just ironed that onto my fabric and you can see it's stuck there. And then if I take my letter, and again I'm flipping it over the other side, using my heat erasable pen, actually you can use it with a pencil for this bit, it might be a little bit easier because it's like greaseproof paper. You just trail around the outside like that and then cut that out.
But it makes it, you can tell the difference now. Now you've got that on there.
Yeah, it gives
Is
it a bit
that
more.
something we sell, Becky?
It isn't something we sell. You can buy it online.
Yeah.
I use a brand called it's Visaline. It's called Bondaweb. But you can get basically it's any kind of adhesive that you can buy.
I remember the
sheet
Bondaweb
adhesive.
in the by Visaline because we had it in store when we were at Chesterfield.
And that would be the one that I tend to use more often than anything else. But we're going to show you how it works with both this and also the spray glue that we have, which is I'm going to be using a lot of in the next show in the craft along.
Oh,
so we've cut round here.
Do you not keep forgetting we've got a craft along
I know,
later on? I'm
I know.
really looking forward to it as well. Nick Maricel said, what a great team. Teamwork makes the dream work. Just so you know, because bless you. I mean, she's literally run out of producing role into go and find Becky's thing role.
Thank you for that, Nick.
I have had a question as well. So for Amali Batiste on Facebook, I have got a question for you about the Threaders Shape Cluster and the Threaders Junior Shape Creator. So we won't, I'm not ignoring it. I will come and address it in a second when we finish this demo.
So I've, like I said, I get a little bit gluey, which I don't like doing after I've just had my nails done. So we're going to
When did you have your nails done, Becky?
I had my nails done.
When did you have them done?
I had them done last night while you were asleep.
You didn't?
No, I didn't, Debbie. Had them done
do you know, you wind me up so much, Miss This. You literally, I am...
Debbie.
She can tell me anything and I believe her. She knows I'm gullible.
Debbie, what time do I go to bed?
9:30.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So,
By the dot.
Yeah.
It almost like you had an internal alarm beeping in your head yesterday. We were mid-conversation. You went, oh, I've got to go. I need to get upstairs. Go to get to bed.
I turn into a pumpkin. Yeah.
Fine if you don't get into bed.
So
But you did have a bath, didn't you? You had a plan. It was going upstairs and having a bath.
Yeah.
And then bed.
But everyone laughs at me because I always go, I'm just going to go upstairs and have a bath, because that is what I have to do before I go to bed. Right, so this one's just been
amazing.
just cut out of fabric with that spray glue. All I would say is, because it's small piece, you need to grab hold of it when I put a little pin in it. But I would use my pokey tool really to keep my hands out of the way. So that is one option of doing it. The other way of doing it, and where have I put my Z? Hello?
Z, it's in front of you. It's under the A.
No,
Right there in front
I
of
cut
you.
it out
No,
there.
have you cut it out?
Cut it out already.
Oh, it's there.
Hello.
Sorry. Hello.
He ran
Where are
away. So I just need to peel off that backing. And my mum's top tip was always, you cut your piece of Bondaweb in half and then you put your shape over the join, because then it makes it easier for you to peel off. But if you put your needle just inside the paper part, and it is just like greaseproof paper, and then you peel it away, you're left with the glue attached to the underside of your fabric.
The fabric, yeah.
It works in the same way. It's just like a sheet of glue. You must make sure it's cold though. So don't iron it on and then immediately try and peel it off, because the glue will still be a bit flexible.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I did it the wrong way.
Will it work the other way?
Oh dear.
It won't work the other way, will it? On the other way around. No? Hey, there's nothing wrong with having a Z back to front, Becky.
Well, that's what you got today. So it works in exactly the same way. There you go.
I think you did that
I meant
on
that to happen
purpose,
just to
didn't
show
you?
you, make sure you do it the correct way rather than the... I've made it a little bit like Zorro
Yes,
in the
I
mirror.
like that.
But they work in exactly the same way. And then all you need to do, you need to have a piece of ribbon and then fold that over and then stitch it. And then you've got beautiful bunting made.
Oh, wow.
Or if you wanted to, you can put two pieces together and sew around it and make it like a whole complete piece of bunting where you can use both sides. So there's lots of options for you to do. But I think this, at that price, as well as that builder banner, builder boom, you're getting with that as well, is a fantastic value and something you're going to use throughout the year.
I wish I had someone outside for me to shout, go and get me this. Please. Actually though, I just heard producer Nick say that we're going to take a little bit of a break.
Oh,
So I think, because I need this in my life, and I don't sew, but I need it in my life, because in my head, paper craft in me is coming out and thinking, that is a fantastic price to get hold of it at that price today. Make sure you check that out of your basket, and we'll give you that time to do that, because we're going to take a quick break. Come and join us for the rest of the amazing deals that I don't know how we're going to get in the next 35 minutes, but we'll do our very best. See you on the other side.
My daily life is pretty busy in work. Literally, I get in the door, I check my polls, I then check what I've got to demo, I then get everything ready. It's just busy, busy, busy from there. I have a meeting with the producer, the director, we get then sorted for the shows, talk to the presenter, and it depends what side I'm on. I mean, sometimes I'm doing the presenting side, sometimes I'm doing the demonstration side, and I love both. It's actually who I get to work with. I can't say no more than that other than anybody that works here. We are a big family. We're so super friendly. I love Ben. I love it when we work together. And I don't mean that I don't love anyone else. It's the fact that Ben is the presenter and then I'm demonstrating and we just have this great rapport. Same with Craig, same with Deb, same with the whole team. So yeah, the best part of the day is just getting to work with the best people in the industry. Oh, a night out. In the morning. Oh, none. I only drink water. Oh, well, I'm cutting out sugar, so it's got to be... Masterclass. Oh, I can't leave the house without my lipstick. Oh, I love a baked potato. I relax. I literally drive home normally and then I relax.
I like to chill, relax, get a cup of tea, then get myself sorted. If I'm presenter, I'll write notes. If I'm the demonstrator, I'll get prep out, have a look at it, make sure that everything is the way it needs to be for the show, do the show. Then what I'll do is I'll grab something to eat, then have another look at the sheet, making sure the next show's all good to go. Then we do that show. Tidy. I always like to make sure that the area is nice and tidy. Either myself the next day or whoever's in. Jump in the car, head home. I will quickly unpack what I need to unpack and then I get on that sofa as quick as I can. As soon as we go live, I love that within our live shows, I always get the butterflies. As soon as we get that countdown in our ear that we're just going live, butterflies kick in and within about 10-15 seconds, I'm going. Butterflies have gone and we just enjoy the show. Early riser. Oh, shower in the morning. Tea. Oh, savoury breakfast. Masterclass. My mobile. Oh, anything with chicken. Currently,
It is The Weeknd, Blinding Light, and it has been for about a couple of years, and I still love it. Apart from jumping in the car, chilling on the sofa, watching TV.
Welcome back, and this is Soft Side of Life. This is a Thursday. Don't think you've got the wrong day. It's a Thursday. We've had to move it because we've got a massive launch tomorrow with our lovely Sarah and, of course, Becky. Now, Becky's been explaining things so well and so clearly and literally making me run to that website and get hold of things myself. We've got lots of deals on the show. We've had a brand new launch today as well at the top of the show, which we'll just recap for you now, which is on the side of me. Now, it's called... get it the right way around, Slide, Stash and Store, and it's all about things that you could use not only in your soft craft side but also in your papercraft side as well. And it's these brand new ones which are the I'm going to call it as the fat quarter storage if you've got fat quarters. However, look at the shape and then think about all the things that you can pop in there. And we've done that for a reason why we've put different fabrics in there, zips in there, different kind of things. And it's literally a storage for any of your soft crafts, but in the square. And you're getting 3 of these, and you're also getting 3 of the longer ones, which are fabulous in terms of what you can pop into them. And these are called the ribbon trays. So you've got 3 of this kind of shape, which is like more of your rectangle shape that you can pop, not just, like I said, for soft crafts, but you could be using them for storage for things like your crafty side of thing as well. This is just things that we filled it up to show you the kind of storage system and the amount that you're actually getting, because you're getting 6 in total. It's 2 separate packs with 3 in each, and that fabulous deal that you're seeing on the screen is brand new today, £17.98 or $23. However, that's just what we call the flat price. That's not with your Club Inspire. If you're not in Club Inspire, then take advantage of that price. However, to sign up for free, as we know, thousands upon thousands of you are, you can go down as low as £14.38 in the UK or $18.40, and they have been selling incredibly well, which just pleases me because I love storage. I'm really into my storage, and I'm still continuing 2 years in.
What would you pop in those?
For me, I'd be looking at my crafts. So for me, they'd be like tape pens in one of those, because tape pens, for me, I'd be going in one of those ribbon trays. However, ribbon. Oh, my ribbon is shoved in a big box. I need to get it sorted. Becky, they're going to be perfect for the ribbons.
Absolutely.
To pop on the ribbon reams
and then
into.
nice and easy, so you can
Slide
dispense them.
And store, put them on shelves and things like that. So that's why for me storage has become really important. And in terms of my crafting side of things, I know I need that in my life. So that's another little one there. Now, keep your comments coming in, keep your questions coming in. We do have less than half an hour left of the show. I can't believe how fast this show has gone. Seriously, it has gone so quick. We have got pictures coming through. Now, if we don't get to play the pictures in this last half hour, which we're aiming to do, we will be featuring them in the craft along because it's National Pet Day, so please do keep them continuing to come in. Are we going to the fabrics first?
We're going to look at the animal applique. We're doing appliques now, or
we'll go to you, Becky. You do it. I'll say the fabric for a second. I'll keep that over here.
The fabric's like nuzzling in with a baby hamster.
Yes,
yeah,
it is.
That's what I reckon. Everyone thinks I'm weird when I say that. Right, animal. I'm not weird. As Sarah said, I'm not weird. I'm really weird. Animal appliques. So we've got 3 here. We've got the fox, we've got the bear, and we have got the deer. They come in 3 different sizes. So you're going to be getting a template in here that you can draw around with your heat erasable pen. But really cute, 3 different sizes that you're going to be getting in here. They are great for home decor. Maybe you're going to be doing, maybe your children are going to a fancy dress party and they're going to go as 3 Goldilocks and 3 bears, and you want 3 bears on their t-shirts. You could absolutely do that, all those 3 different size bears. You get lots of instructions as to how to put them together, but I think they're absolutely gorgeous, using them in different colourways. I love that big quilt that they've got there. I think they look really nice if you've got 3 different sizes, or maybe multiple different sizes, so the mummy, the daddy, the babies, all those sorts of things. Really gorgeous. That is your animal, that's your bear. And then I think this is my favourite. This is the fox, which is absolutely gorgeous. Again, popping them on t-shirts. These can be used for papercraft as well. If you wanted to use a design here, I'm always a big fan of having my cards match whichever gift I'm giving. So if I was going to be making a little bag with one of these foxes on it, I would make a matching card with a fox on the top of it. But again, 3 different sizes as well. And then finally we have the deer. So you can make him into a more Christmassy kind of deer if that's what you wanted. But absolutely, you could just use them as an ordinary deer, kind of a foresty kind of theme. And the price for these is £14 or $19. Platinum is £11.20 or $15.20. You're getting all 3 of these, so 9 different sizes, or 9 different, I was going to do that the wrong way. 9 different opportunities to create different designs in these, which are absolutely gorgeous.
Cracking deal, another cracking deal, absolutely fabulous. We did say at the top of the show that some of these deals are better than what you've seen in the spring sale right now on the website. This is the deal time to get hold of some incredible ones. Now I'm going to tell you, you've been taking advantage of this already. I've got less than, I'm in single figures again.
Did you choose those colours to go with your dress?
I did, well, nearly. Yes, I did. These are our touch of velvets. Oh, wait till you get these home and you feel these. They're absolutely beautiful. Touch of velvet, 3-pack collection. Look at the price. So it's like literally just a little bit over £5 here in the UK if you're Club Platinum. And the colours that you're getting are magenta. You're going to get the blueberry, love a blueberry, I need to go and get some today. And then lastly, the peacock. And yes, they do match my dress, Becky. And I promise you, it was a fluke.
Was it?
It was a fluke. However, what an happy accident that is, because we are in single figures. Now there is, it's 100, for those people wanting to know the information, 100% polyester. You wash these at a machine temperature of 30 degrees, don't you? And you're getting a 50 centimetres by 160 centimetres. Is there another term for that? Because I'm not very good with my centimetres.
Oh, don't ask me to translate that.
It's big. It's a nice wad of fabric. It's a good fabric.
It's that
luxurious
scarf size.
Yeah.
Actually.
What size?
A big scarf.
A big scarf size?
Yeah.
Well, the way that this material feels, Becky, yes, absolutely. However, we're on single figures. So for £19 or $25, get that collection, but take advantage of your Club Inspire membership level and get that additional saving too, because that's fabulous. But again, that's not going to hang around for very long. Next deal, Becky, is it you again?
It's me with the raggy dolls, dolls like you and me. Right, so we've got three options here. So look, let's just show you the first one. So this is the basic ragdoll design. So in here you've got the template to create the actual doll. Now the 2 different versions, male or female, for want of a better term, are exactly the same. She's just got long hair. So actually, in essence, they're exactly the same design of doll. You can make them the way you want to, but we've just added hair to make her look like a little girl. They are really easy to work with. We give you all the instructions. They are a simple doll to make, just made out of cotton. So you get in here the template to make the actual doll. Then in these 2, you've got the outfit. So this first one has a dress, a dress, a set of dungarees, a skirt, a shirt. It also comes with the information to create the little shoes as well. So you can adapt them for whoever we want to give them to. And then this one has, for want of a better term, the boys' clothes, almost like a football top. So you've got shorts and a t-shirt. You can easily make those shorts into long trousers, and you've got little trainers there as well. So they all work together. Fantastic for making gifts for grandchildren or children. Perhaps you've got weddings coming up and you've got small bridesmaids. Rather than giving them flowers to hold or throw at each other, you're going to give them a little doll that's going to look like them, and very easy to adapt. You can quite easily create your own pretty dresses out of these, or page boy outfits. For all of these, which is an incredible deal, £14 or $19. Platinum is £11.20 and $15.20. Remember, you can make and sell, so if you did want to make these and then sell them, they're going to be really well worth popping into your basket.
Now, I feel like I'm a bit of a single figure lady at the minute.
Oh,
I know.
all the single figures,
all the single figure ladies, all the single figure ladies. Yeah, absolutely. You disappeared then. She was like, I'm off. I've got less than 10 I'm into single figures with the bumper felt bundle. And I've always said our threaders felt is incredible for your softer side of life in terms of your soft crafts, but also for paper craft as well, because it's one of those, I'm going to say it cuts really, really well. It doesn't have fibrous pores, doesn't have any straggly bits coming out of it. It's absolutely incredible. And you're getting 3 bumper packs, and it's no wonder I'm back down to single figures, because I've got all of these three fabulous colours, tones, and there's multiple colours in each one. So we've got the Hello colour, we've got the Festive bundle, and we've got the rainbows, and you can see the plethora of colours just by side. £30 or $36, but again, minus your club membership off there, the lowest you'll pay in that purple box today is £24 or $28.80. And if you've ever used our threaders fabric before, you'll know the quality. This isn't the sort of stuff that you pick up in the craft stores for 50p or £1. This is really good quality, especially when it comes to die cutting and things like that. Absolutely fabulous, and a lovely plethora of colours. So again, those single figures, another one that is hanging by a thread, and I don't think that will be around for much longer. Becky, I know you've got another deal.
I do, and I love these. I'm going to put that one last because it's my favourite. These are the gorgeous animal toy templates. So we have 3 here in this collection. These are beautiful. We didn't launch them that long ago. They are really easy to make. We've given you step-by-step instructions. They are not complicated, or I don't have joints as such on their limbs. They are sewn together with buttons, so it makes it really easy for somebody who's just getting started with their toy making to do. So the first one is your lion. Then we have your elephant. He's so cute. And the great thing about these is you can mix and match their body parts together, which sounds a bit weird, but we have a dragon. So if you wanted, you could put the dragon wings onto the elephant, which I think is an accident waiting to happen, because no one wants to be underneath a flying elephant.
No.
No. I've seen what the birds do near a cherry tree. We don't want that. But if you wanted to do that, if you were a fan of the TV show CD UK, where they used to have Wonky Donkey, which my mum used to make. Then you can make your, my mum used to make Wonky Donkey. You can make your own animals, and I think these are fantastic to make memory animals out of parents' clothing, grandparents' clothing.
I was going to go in with that then. I was just thinking, because that's a real trend, and I say trend, it's not, it's something that's a real treasure, keepsake. And I love that idea that you can do that with those templates. So that's a fabulous one. Are you getting all 3, Becky, for that price?
All 3, £30 or $36.
Wow.
No, £14 or $19 or £11.20.
No.
That's platinum price, £11.20 for all of those.
All 3?
All 3.
Are we sure that's right, Nick? Well,
That's amazing.
We did say
That's
some fabulous deals.
Yeah, really good deals.
Yeah.
Again, you can make and sell.
Yeah, absolutely. And goodness me, in one fell swoop of selling one, you get your money back in no time, and that's just with one of them.
Well, more than that, I mean, make and sell. People can pay £30 for a handmade toy, aren't they?
Oh, easily,
£30,
easily. You don't have to go into some of those Build-A-Bear things and see what they charge for those.
Yeah.
Like, goodness me. Are you ready for another deal?
Yes.
Am I in Single Ladies ever come out? Thank goodness for that. I felt like
making you uncomfortable being in single figures.
Yeah, all the time, because I'm thinking, no, I haven't got many. I've got some fantastic deals. Got another one for you, which is the sequin fabric. I've always loved this. Back to the day when I worked in the Chesterfield store, I've always loved this. And this is from our Threaders range again. Now, it's the sequin fabric that is the multi-tone. So you can see there that beautiful black, which is beautiful. But of course, when you lift it the other way, and you're just going to rub that with your hand, and I love doing this because I've bought many a t-shirt for my granddaughter and grandson. It's got that multi-tone colour in it. So that is your black and gold. You are getting your teal and gold. So again, you can see the teal, and then just brush it up or brush it down, and you get that other colour coming through. The pink and gold. Oh, it's stunning, this pink and gold one. And then the rose gold and gold. That's the way I said it, rose gold and gold. So the 2 tones, including the black and gold. Is this for all 4? £25 or $36, but I am more interested in that purple box. £20, which takes these rolls of fabulous fabric. Let's not make no mistake, this is fabulous fabric, down to £5. And then look at the price, $28 or 8 cents. I just think this is an incredible deal. It's got that two-tone function that I love in fabric. And you pay a price, a premium price when you're buying things with that. And I know because I've bought those shirts and they're not your standard price. They like about £5 or £10 on top of it. So it's an incredible deal. Take advantage of that deal at that price today. Don't let that one slip away because that really is fabulous. And you can make all sorts with this, can't you, Becky?
Yes, absolutely you can. And I totally agree with you about having little tops with, you only need to use a small piece. I've got one with a Christmas tree on and I keep touching myself because it feels so nice flipping those sequins back and forth. And
I saw Sam's face. Sam had just were walking out of the studio and he just said that and he turned round and he was like, what?
Yeah. No, but and actually one of those pieces would do perfectly well for the front of a cushion. You could have all of those, just use some dark fabric on the back.
Do you know, I've got,
you've got all those
my
cushions.
daughter bought me a cushion and it was with me and my gorgeous granddaughter when she was first born. And it was a sequin one.
Nice.
And I was like, oh, that's beautiful. She went, Mom, there's a bit of magic behind it. Lifted it up, picture of me and Asafi. And I thought, how wonderful was that? So I've always been intrigued by this kind of, how you can create those two tones in a fabric. Absolutely phenomenal. What a deal that is. That's incredible. So take advantage of that. I'm just going to come and try and put this back in the box now because I've took it out.
Oh dear.
And I don't want to get into trouble with taking it out.
Here,
so I'm going to roll it back up.
Yeah.
Have you got another deal over there?
I have got another deal. So I've got some shape cutters here. So we've got, for, how many? 2? 5. Got 5 altogether. The first one is your hexagon shape cutter. So these all work in exactly the same way, that you've got little grooves around the shape, the same way as we had with the Junior Shape Creator. And what you want to do is you want to place your fabric. You're either going to fold your fabric in half, and where the fold is where you put it on that placement line. If you want a whole shape, in one piece of fabric. Alternatively, if you want half and half, so you want half a hexagon, you're going to put the raw edge, the cut edge where that dotted line is, and then you'll cut 2, and then you'll stitch along with a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and that will give that whole shape. But you want to use a small-ish rotary cutter. So again, a 60mm won't work. You want to use the 25mm or the 45mm. 25mm is absolutely ideal for the really small shapes. So that one is your hexagon. Then we have your Dresden plate. So your Dresden plate looks like this. It looks like almost like a flower. So you can be creating these different shapes here. Again, fold them in half if you want a whole shape in one colour, or you put the raw edge on that dotted placement line, so they all work in exactly the same way. And once again, with that little circle, that's the circle that goes in the middle of your Dresden plate, you're creating those in the same way as we did with that Junior Shape Creator. We've got the same thing with the orange peel. Again, you've got all these different curves, and I will say if you want to cut the smallest curve, you must use the very small rotary cutter, 25mm. Even the 45mm, you will struggle to get the rotary cutter through that. You've then got your 60-degree diamond, works in exactly the same way, and then finally your 45-degree diamond, if I can ever pick it up, again works in exactly the same way, that you can use that, or you can use it as triangles as well. £45 or $60. Your platinum price for all of these is just £36 or $48.
I've got a question for you, Becky.
Yep.
Anna Law Furness on Facebook says, can you machine sew the sequin fabric?
You can. Now I would practice on a little bit of fabric. I would cut your fabric the wrong way. So obviously when you've got your fabric, you wouldn't be able to see where you're marking it on the sequin side. So you want to cut the other way. And I tend to cut not straight the way through the fabric. I'm cutting through like the edge, the actual backing of the fabric. You can use your ordinary sewing machine. I would just give it a bit of trial and error. There are lots of tutorials on the website, on YouTube, to show you how to sew sequin fabric together. So it depends how you're going to be doing it. If you're going to be using it as a bit of a plique, I would just do some zigzag stitching to secure it in place. But if you're actually going to be making something to wear, have a look at a YouTube video that shows you exactly the kind of needle you might use to change your needle to a jeans needle, which is a little bit tougher, and you might need to use a different stitch.
Thank you very much, Becky. Now, I've got a deal that I'm really fascinated by because it's caught my eye and I'm like, oh my life, I'm going to ask Becky about this. It's vinyl fabric. Oh. So, let's just get the deal on the screen for the vinyl fabric, and I'm going to then ask Becky about it because this is absolutely stunning. And I'll tell you why. Glitter, iridescence, and then a plain, and then a mesh. And I have to ask Becky, because I'm going to ask you right now, I'm going to explain the deal. The deal, I just think, is phenomenal. I have got the right one, haven't I? Look at this. It's got that gorgeous glitter effect through it. Oh my life, I absolutely love it. I know you can't pick it up very well in the camera, but oh my life, it is just stunning. Look at the glitter and the sparkle through that. So that's the sparkle one. Iridescent. I'm gonna have to take it out so you can see it. It's like illusion film on a big massive roll, but in fabric form. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. The deal that you're seeing on the screen right now, this is for everything, not one, but everything. And it's the bag making fabric, right, Becky?
Yeah.
And then you've got the clear vinyl fabric, and then you've got the mesh. So that's all 4 of those for £20 or $26. And then look at the lowest price, £16 or $28.80. Becky, what do we use the vinyl fabric? Is it just for bag making, or can you use it for other things as well?
Yeah, I would feel uncomfortable wearing clothes made out of it, I have to be honest.
Well, yeah, well, like, Becky, that could be another show, or entirely a different show. So we're not going to talk about
You could make
clothes.
a rain, if you had enough of it, you could make a raincoat out of it, yeah. The only thing you have to think about is you need to stitch it differently. Now, it's not forgiving, so you can't use any pins in it, you must use clips. And you wouldn't want to clip things for a long time and leave them without stitching them, because you will find that you get little indentations in them. Now, there's a few things you can do to sew it together, and one is to replace your foot. So this is like an ordinary foot for the sewing machine. You can replace your foot with a Teflon coated foot, because it's quite sticky. Can you imagine when you're, well, this is a piece of metal, and when you put that piece of metal on against the against vinyl, it sticks a little bit. It's not going to move smoothly. So you can either get a Teflon coated foot, or you can stitch on tissue paper. So what you can do is you can encapsulate whatever you're stitching with a piece of tissue, and then the tissue will allow everything to run through nicely through the machine, and then you can just peel it away. And I've done that in the past when I've done demos. I've just taken some of the tissue out of some of the boxes that we have, you know, the Crafter's Companion boxes that come with that purple tissue. I've just taken some of that and used that. So that's the only caveat that you have to think about when you're stitching vinyl. But yes, making pencil cases out of total complete vinyl. We've got a few samples or templates on the website, bag templates that have little pockets made out of the vinyl and also made out of the mesh. If you think about rucksacks and things like that, they often have those little mesh pockets at the side for you to put your water bottle in. That's effectively what this mesh is, and it works in exactly the same way. Obviously the mesh needs to stitch onto something because it's quite open, so where you've got your open piece, you know, maybe you've got a little pocket, you want to cover that little pocket with some fabric on the very edge to finish it off, and the rest of it will just be hidden in the seams of your bags. But a really fantastic price. The clear vinyl was a clear vinyl we brought out when we had those little shapes for Christmas, and we cut out their little tummies and we popped little chocolate in their tummies. You can use that, but we can use it for anything, but the clear vinyl was what we produced that for. But any of those vinyls will work together with that kind of thing.
Fabulous. I've got, there's one question I forgot that I'm so sorry, Amalia, and I've just seen a comment, so I'm just going to quickly ask you this question. She wants to know the difference between a threaded shape cutter and the junior shape creator. Is there a difference?
Sorry, the
threaded shape cutter and the threader's junior shape creator.
So this is the junior shape creator, and then this is a shape cutter. So the shape cutters will only cut one particular type of shape. And actual fact, could you do the same sort of things on here? You would struggle. You'd probably only be able to do the smaller shapes on here, and you probably wouldn't be able to do all of them. But this gives you multiple different ways of working, whereas this works for just 1 or 2 different designs that you've got on here, but they work more or less the same kind of way.
Fabulous. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Now, you've got the next deal, which is the bag, the hardware for the bags.
I have.
Debbie will get it right in a minute.
Have I lost my...
We're fast approaching the end of the show and we want to get this deal in because Becky was the one that you said we don't focus on very much, so it's going to be a good one, this one. And I am aware we haven't shown a single picture of the pet, so all I'm going to say is will you join us back at 5 o'clock for the craft along, and we'll encourage you to come and join us there because Becky's going to make a fabulous project, and also we'll do all the photos then. So 1,000 apologies, but we've had so much to get through. It's been a little bit of a fast-paced, furious kind of especially the last half hour. But Becky, what's the deal that you've got with you right now?
So these are, we call them the bag hardware kit collection. They are complete kits complete kits. They are patterns and the hardware to make these bags. So it doesn't come with any fabric, but the whole idea is you've got all of the hardware. So for this one, you've got some sliders, you've got some rectangular rings, and you've also got a little clasp as well, so you can make this bag. Now, you would not have seen these before. These are something that we brought you from the US. So if you're a US customer, you may have seen them, but for UK customers, this is the first time you've seen them. This one works in exactly the same way as a tote bag, and then this final one creates this lovely little clutch and works really well. So we've shown you with some beautiful fabrics today. This one, I started cutting out. I obviously don't have time to show you, but to show you what you get in here, you'll get your instructions like this, which show you how to put it all together. You also get a really large sheet, which has got all of your pattern pieces for you to cut out. But I used some of that beautiful velvet that we had earlier on that matched Debbie's outfit, and I was going to create my little bag out of this velvet using some of my little bits and pieces of lining fabric, and that is going to make a really beautiful little clutch bag with this lovely clasp over here. Now again, you can make and sell, but you're getting all the hardware you need in here, and these kind of clasp things are not easy to find unless you're looking online. This one's particularly heavy. They're really good quality, and it also comes with that chain as well. So the price for these three is just £25 or $30. Platinum price is just £20 or $24, and you're getting all of these as well, so you're going to get a lot in here to make it work for you. And I just think, really nice to make your own bag. If you're going to be making an outfit for a wedding or something like that, making your bag to match is going to be lovely.
Fabulous, thank you very much. Becky, one more cheeky deal that I'm going to sneak in, which is the, I love this, the matte leather effect bundle from Threaders, and it is beautiful. It's that, it feels divine as well. The colours that we've got are blush pink and navy and olive that are coming in this bundle for you today. A fabulous set. I have always loved Threaders fabric. I think it's a really lovely quality. And for £19 or $25 being what I call the flat price, that isn't your price today because you are obviously going to take off your club platinum price, and if you are platinum member, £15.20 or $20 for all three of these fabulous white clean beautiful fabrics that you can make from loads of things in your soft craft sides. I've got one question for you, Becky, before we wind up and then talk about your craft along project. Do you have it with you, by the way?
I have it somewhere.
It's just Stephanie Theodos on Facebook has said, and hello Stephanie, I hope you're keeping well. Hello everyone, can the vinyl be glued together? Can it be glued? Can the vinyl, what we've shown you, be glued together?
I would say no. I've never tried it. I think if you're going to glue it together, you wouldn't be able to use a fabric glue. And you wouldn't be able to use glue which has any water content because the water's got nowhere to go because it's a plastic. Yeah. Possibly you might be able to use some Kalal. I've not tried it. I don't know what would happen with that. It might melt it.
You would recommend not to use glue?
I would give it. You could always give it a try on a small piece. Yeah. With some, there might be glues out there that particularly for vinyl, but I would say generally stitching. Stitching in heat is how you normally secure vinyl.
Right, thank you very much. That is it. We've run out of time. However, Becky, quickly, flash the bag. Project that's coming up in the craft along.
Yeah, so we're doing this. This is one of the new bags, and we're also using the new needle-toned applique as well. We will not finish it today, but we will get it finished over the intervening weeks.
We'll get as much as we possibly can through in that live 2-hour show, which is coming up at 5 p.m. here in the UK. Is that 12 p.m. US time? I think it says 12 p.m., which I'm assuming is Eastern time, 11 a.m. Pacific time. Oh, Central, sorry, and 9 a.m. Pacific time. Fabulous. I hope you can join us back for that fabulous Craft Along project, which I know you're going to love. So sorry we've run out of time for the photos. Please do join us at 5 o'clock because we will go through all those fabulous pictures that you've sent us. And come and join us for another 2 hours of crafty fun and inspiration, but this time from the gorgeous Becky. Bye for now.